Leo, thank you for joining me. This is your forecast for June 2016. Now, from the 26th of May through until the 27th to 28th of June, there's a grand cross in your chart. It is a big red square made up of 4 squares, which is 2 planets being away from each other by 90 degrees, and it creates real energy and friction in your life. So don't expect June to be quiet, placid, boring. There's going to be a lot of activity, a lot of movement. For you specifically, it connects your real sense of enthusiasm and joy and wanting to go to festivals, spending time with friends. If you're in the northern hemisphere, going out to parties, all of these things, you will want to have lots of activity and you'll have a real appreciation for good times. That connects with your desire to make sense of your finances. I think you have a lot of good luck in your finances, but to make sense of them, to get organized, you may feel like your romantic life at the same time isn't where you want it to be. And I think you have a real desire to connect spiritually with other people. And throw all of that into the cauldron and stir it around, and you've got a big kind of hopped up Leo that has a lot of energy and doesn't know where to start. So be nice to yourself, take one thing at a time, try and keep things simple, and use your energy to focus on one thing at a time, and use that great energy to really tackle the things in an orderly, even fashion. On the 2nd of June, a grand trine appears. This is made up of 3 trines making a big triangle, and a trine is when 2 planets are 120 degrees apart. So both of these things are major aspect patterns. In the tarot, these are major arcana cards. These are big, heavy energies. A grand trine is about talent and ease, and it's in Earth. So the good news for you here is that you are very, very effective when it comes to your working life. You're very good at dealing with money, making sense of money, organizing money. And I also get the sense that there's a potential for you to transform your work, to make more money, to be promoted, to take on a new job role between the 2nd of June and 7th of June. If you've wanted to be promoted, if you've wanted a raise, if you wanted to start a new job, there's the alchemical, the energy of the alchemist in your chart during this time, that you can transform your working life and make it something prosperous, abundant, and joyous. That is real luck factor, and combined with the Grand Cross, all of this energy, this frantic, massive, manic energy, and this talent to transform your working life, use the energy to make changes for the better. On the 3rd of June, your moon is in Taurus, and it's at 20 degrees in your 10th house. Then on the 4th, it hops over your midheaven, the angle of work, and it lands in Gemini in your 11th house. So the moon is what you feel nurtured by and comfortable with, and you will understand what practical action you need to take and what you need to learn and what you need to discover to take the next step in your career. So on the 2nd, there's the ability to transform the career. On the 3rd and 4th, you get the how you transform the career. On the 5th, the new moon occurs, and that's in your 11th house of hopes and dreams. The new moon pulls Gemini energy in, it lands in your 11th house, and it's like, oh my God, I understand what I want to be, what I want to do when I grow up. I understand how I need to get there, what steps I need to take to fulfill my hopes and dreams. Thank you, hallelujah. Because you, like everybody, if you know what your hopes and dreams are, if you discover what you want to do, if you discover what it is you love, then you've got a fighting chance of actually going after it and pursuing it. And the insight, the inspiration is planted in your mind. The Mona Lisa is plonked into your head, this masterpiece of idea, is put into your mind, and you can really understand it and get it. What do I love? What path do I need to take to do something that is much more aligned with my passions, with my desires when it comes to my career? You know, 100 years ago, people worked just to survive. Thank God, a lot of us have progressed to this next level in our lives where we do work that not only puts food on the table, but that also gives us a sense of fulfillment. And like we're doing something that's meaningful and that makes us happy. And you, Leo, have that potential to really transform your working situation to something like that. And remember, this big, lovely red cross is sitting there giving you the energy to put that into practice. On the 7th of June, the moon goes into Cancer in your 12th house. So this feels somewhat unusual because you're going to feel very introspective, very quiet, very intuitive, very psychic. I think some of the darker things in your life may appear, and you may look at fears, and you may look at things that have irritated and made you feel resentful in the past. These things are presented to you as information, as ghosts of the past that represent things to avoid on this journey to your own happiness. So you are experienced, you've been here before. Sometimes things haven't gone so well. Listen to your experience and avoid those things. You're going to be able to realize your hopes and dreams this time around because you've tried before. And you know where the pitfalls are and what you need to do to avoid. So listen to your feelings first and foremost, and listen to this wealth of knowledge you have via your own experiences. On the 9th of June, there's a yod in your chart, which is the finger of God. And the yod connects the moon, which is now in your sign, Leo. And on this day, you feel yourself. You feel comfortable in your own skin. You know who you are. You know what you're about. You discover what your hopes and dreams are when it comes to work, and you are dedicated to putting practical action in to transform your day-to-day routine. So, Leo, in June, you are a master alchemist. You're someone who's working in the laboratory, mixing the potions, and knowing that you have the skills and the ability to take coal and to make it into gold. And you can make that transition in your working life and really change things to live the dream. They always say that on reality shows like American Idol. I'm living the dream, I'm living the dream. You can live the dream too. Your ideas are superb, they're on point. Your ability to take practical action is on point, and the inner fire, the passion is burning brightly and taking you in the right way. Your doubts, your fears aren't overwhelming you. They appear on one day when Moon goes into Cancer as a warning, as a guidance system to keep you on the right path, and it's about putting these things in place. So Leo, you're really blessed here in June, okay? This is a month where you're being given a lot. The universe is opening its treasure chest and saying, here you go, pick. So please pick something nice. Pick a little tiara or a little crown. Put it on your head and be prosperous and abundant. On the 11th and 12th of June, your moon is now in Virgo. It sits on top of your rising, your Jupiter, and your North Node, all of which are in Virgo in your second house. So the real gift here that you've got as well is that you can take information and break it down and order it so that you can boil it down to this point where you understand, if I do A, B, and C, I can make money. I can provide for myself and I can live a solid, stable, practical, healthy life. So when the moon joins all of that understanding, you intuitively feel what practical actions would work or wouldn't work. You know, sometimes it's like you have a choice to make, and sometimes it's like, okay, I can either turn left here at the light or I can go straight. For some reason, every other day I go straight to get home after work, but for some reason today, I get the feeling that I need to go left. And that is psychic ability when it comes to practicality. Because when you get home, you realize that that road was closed and you saved 5 minutes. That's the kind of practical intuition you have on the 11th and 12th. On the 13th, Mercury goes into Gemini in your 11th. And Mercury is the planet of communication. It rules Gemini, so it's alive, it's functioning very, very effectively, and the ideas and the understanding that you want to receive when it comes to your work, your career, and the dream job, the ideal career, will appear. And I think that so far in the month you've done the inner work, but now I actually think that you will be presented with an opportunity via some sort of media outlet / publication. Monster, the Los Angeles Tribune or Times, the Somerset Gazette with the job ads. Look in the paper if you're looking for something. Your dream job may be there. It reminds me of a news story I read a couple of years ago. There was a job advertised for a caretaker of an Australian island. And the job was that this guy had to live on this beautiful, gorgeous island in this beautiful house. And all he had to do was be present. It's like the dream job. Look in the paper today, look on the internet. You may find the job that you've now internally discovered you ought to be doing. Go look for it. So 10 out of 10 for career, 10 out of 10 for the ability to transform your practical life. On the 14th, the moon is at 17 degrees in your third house in the cardinal air sign of Libra. You're going to feel very comfortable taking the lead and presenting your ideas and your thoughts in a way that is positive and productive and that will lead you somewhere. If you want the promotion, go pitch today why you're good for the promotion, why you could do that job. If you want to flesh out the book plan, take charge of your thoughts and ideas and start writing the plan so that you can write the book later on. It's about taking charge of your ideas today. They will help you realize your hopes and dreams. Go for the job interview today. Really, for job interviews in June, the 14th and the 15th are the best. On the 16th of June, something really magical happens. The Lyrid meteor shower hits its kind of peak. It started on the 10th of June and it continues until the 21st of June. They're going to show up as light blue. And usually a meteor shower is like a cleansing, okay? But in this situation, what I feel is that you're going to be given information, opportunities, and you're going to have a knack to absorb things like a sponge. Things are just going to be kind of dropped into your consciousness, almost like the meteor showers, as above, so below. That's the whole point of astrology. It's a symbolic representation of what's happening in the sky and what happens in your own life as a result of that. So the meteor showers are dropping blue little magical orbs of hope and light and idea and magic into the sky and into your life. So be inspired, be blessed, have information come in, and then use it. On the 17th, the moon goes into Scorpio and it's conjunct with Mars, also in Scorpio in your 4th house. This is the day that is going to be most explosive and combustible when it comes to your family relationships. If someone has, if you were growing up and you always felt very psychic, for instance, but you grew up in a Mormon household and your family was always saying, don't talk to us about that stuff, we don't want to hear it, talk about, the things that we've taught you to be good. And you've carried that with you and you've said, well, that's the way my family are, I accept that, but it's still annoying you in some way because you feel like you've lost time. Then on the 17th, if you go home or if you connect with people who you blame for something that was negative in your life, there's real potential for you to blow up and to say, it's your fault I am the way I am and I lost all this time and blah, blah, blah. It's the worst day for family and for relationships, especially long-term family relationships, because the resentments may come to the surface. On the 18th, the Virgo Pisces axis becomes very strong. This is a very spiritual axis in astrology, and it connects your your practical ability to make money and this understanding that you've been building the whole month. It will come to a point where you feel like, if I put this in place, I will be able to do this. It seems very practical and doable now, but it will also give you the dream of what you can actually achieve with this. So if you've been thinking small, there's going to be great potential for you to think big, okay? Very, very big. So allow yourself to dream that. Again, we're still in time of the Lyrid meteor shower. This is another inspiration. If you naturally think very practically and very blinkered, things will open up for you, and allow that to open up for you. It's something that's beyond your usual scope of imagination. Venus also goes into Cancer on the 18th here, and Venus is now focused on the feelings, and you're going to have a greater love for spirituality and being of service to other people. So the focus shifts a little bit from realizing your own hopes and dreams, and you really start focusing on others. So if you're trying to figure things out, do the research, do the learning, have your reading before the 18th of June, and then focus on your own spiritual practice from then on. That's what's going to fill you with love and belonging and positive emotions. The full moon occurs on the 20th of June. The full moon is in your 5th house in Sagittarius, so this is very good. Now, at the beginning of the reading, I mentioned that with this grand cross in place, you may feel a little bit frustrated when it comes to your romantic life, because it may feel like it's a little bit slow, a little rock solid, a little unmoving. This full moon is like a flower that opens up, and there's great movement and potential for love and romance now for you in this month on the 20th, and then it starts to shut down again. So things are kind of stifled for you in that sector of your life at the moment. Meeting new people, finding people you're interested in. You know, I mean, I don't know about you, but sometimes you can walk around a town and you can not see anyone you are interested in. And then other days in that same town, it can seem like the town is just filled with beautiful people. Is it really that the people are different, or that your perception has changed? Who knows? So on this day, things open up, and whether it's your own perception or the reality of life, there's real potential for you to explore the romantic side of things. That applies when if you're in a relationship and it's been dry lately, you can bring some excitement into it. Or if you're single, you can build a bridge between you and another person and create something new. Isn't this terrible weather we're having? You know, that sentence has started loads of relationships, even though it's a stupid sentence, but it has. It's about starting a connection, and the 20th is good for that, and then things start to kind of close down a bit. It's also the summer solstice, which is really the pagan festival which announces the rulership of light now and positivity in the world, and it's when nature, in the northern hemisphere anyway, starts to become her loveliest. She shows us her flowers, her green leaves, all of the beauty in nature. So get in touch with that fire in the world right now. The summer solstice there's optimism, there's excitement, there's movement. On the 21st, the sun goes into Cancer. So now it's a time of, again, focusing on your identity as nurturing, and it goes into your 12th house. So things are kind of shifting towards my hopes and dreams, towards spirit, taking care of others. So you're changing focus. So again, try and get all of the work stuff sorted out, the alchemy that you're doing before the 18th of June. You lose some of that momentum there. On the 23rd and 24th, Mars begins to quincunx Uranus. Any frustrations you have with family members or people in your life, you may have the tendency to want to flit off and go on a holiday. Especially during this time, if there's something difficult, I think you're going to be very reluctant to stay and face the music. You're going to find it much easier to run off, go on holiday, and enjoy yourself. I'm not going to tell you what's better here, whether you should stay and work things out, or whether you should just avoid them or go away. But I don't see you making a lot of progress, because you are holding on to resentments. So if you do have the possibility to do something for yourself, rather than engage with all this negativity, then leave the negativity behind. Mercury starts to not quincunx, it starts to conjunct your midheaven on the 25th, and that's in your 11th house. And again, I think you may get some sort of useful information from one of your friends about realizing your hopes and dreams when it comes to work. Okay, so listen to one of your friends, even if they just talk a lot of rubbish. Usually, then they might have a gem for you on this day. Okay, on the 27th, the moon goes into Aries at 2 degrees in your 9th house. So really, the end of the month here, we're looking at Uranus up there, we're looking at the moon. there's a great relationship between you and travel, and there's a real desire to be independent and to do things by yourself. Go on a trip by yourself. I've always wanted to go, and I've been saying it for months, I want to go to Denmark, I want to go to Copenhagen and go see the town. I don't know why, and I still haven't done it. And that's a trip I would do on a weekend by myself. And you'll have the urge to do something similar. Take the time and go do it. Actually, maybe I should go to Denmark, because I said I was going to do it in the summer, and it's summer. The 29th of June, there's a grand trine now in your chart-ish. It's kind of squished up a little bit. It's in water. Heal family frustrations and difficulties by connecting with spirit. It will take the pressure off. And finally, the month ends with Mercury going into Cancer. So everything shifts from ideas about work and hopes and dreams towards now. You're going to be very focused on supporting other people, nurturing them, and communicating about your own emotions, getting intuitive information in, and being of service to them. So it's a kind of shift in a different direction. I hope you have a wonderful month, Leo. If you'd like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab and you can order your reading with me there. Once you order your reading, I send you my schedule. Remember to subscribe to the channel, please. I also do a weekly astrology forecast for all signs of the zodiac now on Facebook. So check out facebook.com/GregoryScott444, and I'll speak to you soon.